Hi, I'm Doug here at Global West. Thought I'd take a minute here and talk to you about these control arms we have on the table. Now they happen to be for 1967 through 69 Camaro Firebird or 68 through 74 Nova or Ventura. Now this is a coilover shock, happens to be a Viking, and under normal circumstances these particular shocks, whether it could be a QA1, could be an AFCO, could be a number of different shock brands, they bolt to the top of your lower control arm. And we build a lower control arm, tubular, that has the shock mounting for coilover in the standard location. Now when you do a coilover on these particular vehicles, it's good from stock height, and most guys are going to do a drop, so it's good for about 1 1/4 down. After 1 1/4, we start running into issues whether we got enough spring rate to stop the car from bottoming out, or again, shock travel, whether we have enough shock travel there to accommodate that new lowered stance. So then you get into the 2-inch drop spindles, okay? Some guys don't want to run 2-inch drop spindles. They want to try and do it through the shock. Well, you can do it through the shock and spring combination providing you have enough travel. So what we've done is we've built these lower control arms here, which are called EXTs, extended travels. By doing so, these are all for coilovers. If you'll notice on the control arm here, the mount where the coilover is going to attach is lower than inside the tube here. We deliberately lowered the mounting so that as the car comes down for your ride height that you're looking for, that shock is not totally being compressed. It's going to have some shock travel because we've moved this mounting position lower. Now what this does is it allows for, again, shock travel at the lowered ride height. It allows you to maintain a spring rate instead of increasing the spring rate constantly to stop the bottoming conditions. Now you can run a softer spring. So it allows that conversion to take place. You can have your stance. You don't need to run the 2-inch drop spindle, and yet you can still run a standard coilover type system, okay? However, what you can't do is go back to stock ride height because you've got this lowered position for the shock. So now your new positioning would be from 1 1/4 to 2 inches down or a little further. That's your operating range for your ride height with this combination. Never back to stock because the shock is actually going to be too short for that application. When you do something like this, depending on the type of bushing you have at the bottom, we recommend going to a bearing system. Now we have these bearings that go into the base of the shock. They have a couple of clips that go into them that lock the bearing in place, and a couple of spacers, as you see here, that are in the kit. And we make them for Viking, and we also have them for QA1. Also AFCO, Penske, and so on. So when you're doing a conversion like this and you've got a shock that perhaps you've already got one of these brands and you want to go to an extended travel application to where you don't have to run the drop spindle and you want that lowered ride height, that bearing system is going to be required. So we have different part numbers for that. So realize that not just the lower control arm, but that lower mounting bearing for your shock is also going to be needed. The part number for these are CTA 79 EXTs. Again, they fit 67 through 9 Camaro Firebird, 68 through 74 Nova, Ventura. They're a great way to get the car lowered without doing a drop spindle, without running into those issues with the steering knuckle arm hitting the rim, and having your ride at the same time without increasing that spring rate to the point where it's rough. CTA 79 EXT, check them out. Might be something you're looking for.